Alexander Hamilton said, "A nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one." Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second: surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? Well, Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side, he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead. Or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools, and our honored dead who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance. This is the meaning, in the phrase of Barry Goldwater, peace through strength. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hello. Well, I'm not going to try to have the live stream too long tonight because I have some yard work to do, and I got to burn a bunch of branches and shit. So let's get to the sharing of the screen. Dun, dun, dun. So last time I live streamed, which was about a month ago, we looked at an article that said the Pentagon declares Anthropic a threat to national security. And the reason this was, Anthropic is another AI company, is that Trump and the Pentagon and everybody else wanted an agreement with Anthropic to spy on us, that they would help, give us that police state bullshit. And Anthropic refused to do so. Which makes me worry that if this made headline news, I'm kind of worried the other AI companies fell in lockstep and decided they were going to help spy on us. But Anthropic did not. At least not yet. And that's why the Pentagon wants to declare them a national security threat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to tell you that 1 month later, we have this headline. A jaw-dropping $1 trillion valuation, Anthropic overtakes OpenAI in the market cap race. I hope as long as they maintain, standing their ground, I hope they do good. I really do. I think that I love this. It's not quite a comeback story, but it's a glow up, I'm glad to see it because, makes me thrilled. So I thought I would share that bit with you. I think that was funny. I tried to find a Yahoo News article about it because their headline was a little funnier. They were like, they said that Anthropic was eating everyone's lunch. And I was like, damn. But this does good. Oh, and back in February, I'm trying to get shit to work. Why is it not? There we go. And in February, we were looking at the article talking about that bombing that happened in Mexico, and the fact that they wanted the FIFA Cup in Mexico, and Trump was upset. And I said that I thought that the bombing and the shit going on. Let me get to it real quick. Let's see. Here we go. So this is from February. The 2026 FIFA World Cup venue under threat after Mexican crime lord killed. So y'all remember though that shit was going on. They were supposedly taking hostages at the airport and all kinds of fucking shit was breaking loose. And I said, I wonder if our country... Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Damn it. Where'd it go? Well, okay, so I lost the article, but y'all saw it while it was there. And I said, I wonder if our country had something to do with it because Trump said he wanted the FIFA Cup to be hosted here in America, and he was mad that it was in Mexico. Well, FIFA faces pressure to call on Trump to stop the ICE raids at the 2026 World Cup. And it's actually not the article I thought it was, but apparently America will be hosting the FIFA Cup now, I do believe. So I feel like, all right, being co-hosted by U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And it kicked, wait, is this the article I thought it was? Let me see, 1 week ago. Well, apparently it's going to be in Mexico still, but I think a lot of it's going to be here. But I feel like, anyway. But you know what I think. I'm always assuming some kind of shit. Oh, yeah. And a week or two ago, an Israeli soldier was caught in a picture, he posed for it, taking a sledgehammer to the statue of Jesus. Not to be an asshole, but we all know what they think of Jesus. If you don't know, you can go look it up. But an Italian peacekeeper replaces this Jesus statue that was vandalized by Israeli soldiers. And they're here doing it, getting a picture. Yeah, someone made a joke. It was fucked up, but it was true. So it was a picture of the soldier, the Israeli soldier, and he had a sledgehammer, and he's got it down, and it's hitting Jesus' face just as the picture is being taken. And the guy goes, great, they got Jesus a second time. I'm like, oh, gee. And I'm like, he's not wrong, though. But I'm glad to see this Italian peacekeeper fix that. That was very cool. And if the IDF was truly sorry for it, they would have fucking fixed it. But nope, it was someone else that did. The Israelis apologized and placed the two soldiers in detention. They don't even do that much when one of the soldiers kills a kid. So I doubt he's really in that much trouble. But they say it's wholly... all right, hold on. Where is it? They said that Benjamin Netanyahu called wholly inconsistent with the values expected of the Israeli Defense Forces. Dude, they snipe kids in the knees for fun. Like, this is not off-brand for them. It's really not. But I guess I figured I'd just give you that bit real quick. Let's see. Let me switch this around. Oh, so apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell has been asking for a pardon and hoping to get one. You know what? I almost sarcastically say, why not? Because not like anybody else is going to get in trouble for any of that shit. Clearly nobody else is going to go to jail for it. Hell, they'll probably fake her death so nobody will go try to vigilante her ass. But they're going to get y'all caught up on all that real quick because I'm about to dive into what I'm really interested in talking about tonight. And so the White House is calling it a conspiracy theory about the missing or dead scientists went from online forums to the White House. Well, I don't know what you would call it, but we got about between 12 and 14 scientists dead and missing. Dead or missing. That's kind of a lot since last year, except one, I think, the first one was in 2022. The rest have been 2025 and 2026. Shit balls, I've got a tornado watch. God damn it. Oh well. Let me get through this bit. Anyway, so I am going to show you some little video clips from TikTok. I sent them to friends. I know, right? But I sent some videos so that way I can pull them up for you. Actually, I'm going to have to change the way this is done a little bit. Like that. I want to stop sharing for just a second. Share screen. Facebook. Because I had to share the page without it being the whole screen so that way you can hear the sound on that page. So. There we go. That should be where they are. So the one that seems to have really gotten news is a guy named David Wilcock. Let's see. This one's a more recent one. I guess it doesn't really overly matter what order because, you know, there's a lot going on anyway. All right. So let me see. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, I need to fix that. Let me share this tab. So there we go. Let me refresh it.
An aerospace defense engineer, military veteran, has passed away in a plane crash with his family. His son was also an up-and-coming researcher at the time of his passing. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And guess where the family is from? Huntsville, Alabama. Just like Joshua LeBlanc, who was also from Huntsville, Alabama, and he burned and passed away in his Tesla last year, a NASA engineer specializing in nuclear propulsion. And remember, Amy Eskridge was also from Huntsville, and she was working on anti-gravity, said to have taken her own life. Seems like a lot happens in Huntsville, Alabama. James Toney was in the plane that crashed. He was a decorated veteran pilot, aerospace engineer, and defense researcher. Muffet was in the military for 21 years. And after that, he worked as a payload and flight crew support specialist at NASA's Johnson Space Center astronaut office, where he participated in 14 Space Shuttle ISS construction missions. After retiring, he founded an aerospace consulting firm, laid a scientist with ties to aerospace research and NASA. His son, the 30-year-old, was a research engineer and scientist at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. The plane went down in South Carolina last week, raising questions about whether the incident is related to the disappearance and passing away of the scientists tied to nuclear and space research. Authorities have not yet released a cause of the crash. Thank you to Mark Wade in the comments who told me about this family who passed away in the plane crash. Another one gone connected to aerospace. An aerospace defense engineer, military veteran, has passed away in a plane crash with his family. His son was all
right, so let me find you another video. Because, yeah, so a lot of people... All right, so I looked up, and I will show you the video, because I was talking to the Google AI thing, running some theories past it. And this, all right, so the Artemis 2 project, the one that supposedly just went up in space recently, they started rough drafting the plans for that in 2017, I think. And one of the first scientists to mysteriously disappear or die was in 2022. And the closer it got to the Artemis project taking off, more of them end up dying. And I'm interested in find out why. So let's try this video here. So let me pause that for just a second so I can share it with you. There we go.
Found burned in Tesla after vanishing from his Alabama home last year. I just reported number 12 yesterday, and I'm reporting number 13 today. 29-year-old Joshua LeBlanc was not just any NASA engineer. He worked on nuclear propulsion systems, one of the most sensitive areas in aerospace. His body burned beyond recognition, and police confirmed his identity 3 days later after the body was transported to the Alabama Department of Forensic Science. And at the time, his family said they feared he had been abducted and that he had left his phone and wallet in his home at the time of the disappearance. Why are all these scientists leaving their phones behind when they leave? So since
Yeah, that seems to be a common pattern. The ones that are dead and missing, they all left their phone and keys at home. Some of them even left their wallets at home. And what I find interesting about that particular young man right there is he was driving a Tesla. Now, from what I understand of Teslas, unless it's one of the older ones with the key fob that may or may not even need a phone, the current ones need a phone as part of it working. So how he got his Tesla to work, not having his wallet or keys or phone, makes me really fucking wonder. It does.
he didn't have his phone, police tracked LeBlanc down using data from his Tesla Sentry mode and found that his vehicle sat at the airport in Huntsville for hours on the morning of his passing. His family said his trip west was not part of his plan for the day and that uncharacteristically, he was not communicating with them. A LinkedIn page for LeBlanc says he worked at NASA for about 5.5 years and that he was a team lead for NASA's space nuclear propulsion instrumentation and control maturation. NASA SNP technology, quote, would enable faster and more robust transportation for crew and cargo missions to Mars and science missions to the outer solar system, according to the government's agency website. When this happens to someone of this level of clearance, you don't just call it a mystery and move on, especially when several other individuals tied to aerospace, defense, and nuclear-related work have either passed or disappeared. It's going to blow your mind. The 13th scientist, number 13, NASA nuclear engineer.
I know, it sounds like a fucking movie. But hold on, there's more though. Ah, damn it. Nope, wrong button.
Linked to sensitive programs in the U.S. have suddenly disappeared. Congress is now
figé.
Oh, shit.
Bonjour à tous et bonjour à toutes.
Sorry.
These 11 scientists linked to sensitive programs in the U.S. have suddenly disappeared. Congress is now opening an investigation.
Well, I hope it's random. Pretty serious stuff. Hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, if you whatever you want to call it. But
Coincidence is that?
some
That's
of them were
insane
very important people, and we're going to look at it.
All of them are missing.
On April 16,
None
2026,
of them have their
President Trump
phones
brought up a case that had been mostly circulating online, especially on Reddit, where it was often linked to conspiracy theories. A few days later, on April 20th, Congress announced it had referred the matter to several federal agencies, including the FBI and the National Security Agency. It is very unlikely this is a coincidence. Congress is very concerned and is making this a top priority from now on because we see it as a national security issue. James Comer, a Republican lawmaker and chair of the House Oversight Committee, said he initially thought it was some kind of crazy conspiracy theory before concluding that something much more sinister might be going on. NASA, which is connected to 3 of the cases, said it is cooperating with the appropriate agencies regarding the missing scientists, while adding that so far, nothing indicates a threat to national security. Since 2022, 11 American scientists working on sensitive programs, including nuclear and space research, have died or gone missing under circumstances described as unusual.
I'm trying to make myself like not so big on the screen, but I can't seem to do that right now. All right. Now another video, because like I said, these, kind of tell you everything going on. So here's another one I think is interesting. We'll see if anything happens to this guy.
American scientist in the anti-gravity field has come forward and said that his life is in danger. He posted on his
Dr. John Brandenburg. Yeah, he says his life might be in danger as well. And we can't say he might be wrong, we can't say that.
Yesterday, urging a blanket amnesty for all those who may be in danger. This shit is getting crazier and crazier every single day. Another American scientist in the anti-gravity field has come forward and said,
but here's the thing about the word amnesty. Now, he could be saying it wrong, but usually when you talk about amnesty, usually that is a term used for wanting protection from something large like a government. And like Amnesty International, like that, yeah. Usually that's for like a nation or government or something where someone is in danger. And the idea that NASA and our government didn't notice that a bunch of high-profile scientists were missing. Obviously, they had to have known. I think they weren't going to do anything about it because it probably has something to do with it. And I think it has to do with the Artemis 2. I think it does. Because if you've seen the footage and you've seen people talking about it, there's a lot of inconsistencies with the Artemis. It doesn't look like they really went to space. And I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. There was a lot of inconsistencies in their own videos that weren't right with what was going on. Like, they would reach something and their hand would disappear like it was a green screen mistake. There was a lot of green screen glitches that were happening in the footage they were showing people. So what if these scientists knew that the Artemis would not be able to properly take off? What if there was something wrong with it and they spoke out against it, or they were going to, or they would be, if the Artemis 2 took off with these guys still around, they would be very important, educated voices that would be like, hey, this didn't really happen. And it could make the government look bad. So, hold on. Do I have another video? I think I do have. Yeah, I have two more. Now, this particular girl, she's one of the people that has gone missing. She's a little peculiar, but like, just because somebody's a little weird, don't make them wrong, you know? And she's, as far as I know, this girl is missing.
Being physically surveilled by the following method. My ex-boyfriend and I realized that people had been breaking into our apartment while we were gone together in the same vehicle. And so, like, I'm in the apartment, I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, why don't you take out the trash and scope out the parking lot and make sure it's okay before I go to work? So he goes out there and he's like, there's this weird fucking Lexus. It's like a silver Lexus. This is a shitty apartment. Like, why is there really nice Lexus in the parking lot? And it has tinted windows that are not street legal. Like, just totally dark, totally black tinted windows that are not possibly street legal. And so he comes back in and we're standing in our bedroom window looking at the Lexus and talking about it. And I say out loud, maybe we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, because the Lexus is across the parking lot from us, but it's backed in, so you can't see the license plate. Within 2 minutes of me saying, hey, we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, we were still standing there at the window looking at it, talking about it. And an Eastern European looking motherfucker with a black beanie, dressed all in black, in his 50s or 60s, walked out of the apartment directly across from ours holding a license plate. And he opened the trunk of the Lexus and he took out some tools and he changed the license plate right in front of our fucking faces. And then he walked back to his apartment and he put the old license plate on the front patio and went inside, left it outside. And it was literally like, come get the license plate. I have more where this came from. Come get the license plate. And then after that, the Lexus started tailing me. And every time I saw the Lexus, it had a different license plate. It would be like Alabama plates, a different state plate. It would be random dealer plates, none of which were local, just like cardboard temporary dealer plates, none of which were any local dealers. Every time I saw it, it was different plates. It would follow me to the gas station to go get beer. I would go get beer at the gas station and that Lexus follows me. And even my ex called an Uber once. He called an Uber. The Lexus pulled out from the spot across the parking lot from our apartment, drove over to our apartment, and said, "Hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up."
Reports surrounding the death of Amy Eskridge, a researcher associated with experimental
Oh, sorry, she's
anti-gravity
not missing. She's
concepts,
dead, poor girl.
have drawn renewed attention following claims about messages she sent prior to her passing. Amy Eskridge was found with a gunshot wound to the head in Huntsville, and her death was officially ruled a suicide. However, reports state that approximately 1 month before her death, she sent a message to a friend expressing fear for her safety and denying any intention to harm herself. In May 2022, she reportedly said in a text, "If you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I overdosed, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I killed anyone else, I most definitely did not." The message has since circulated widely online, contributing to speculation and debate about the circumstances surrounding her death. Additional claims reported in media accounts suggest Eskridge told a friend she believed she had been subjected to physical and psychological attacks prior to her death, including references to what she described as an energy weapon. In a prior interview before her passing, Eskridge reportedly expressed growing concern for her safety, stating that she was becoming increasingly afraid and felt the need to disclose soon. Let's dig deeper about her story.
And as far as the energy weapon, she's probably not making that up because there was rumors going around that they had used energy weapons in South America when they were getting Maduro to be able to subdue their any of his guards. So it's quite possible they used something similar on her. So yeah, so I am convinced this has something to do with the Artemis project. Let me see. Let me go find the last video. That's weird. Why do I need to log in? I'm gonna see this real quick. What the fuck? For some reason, it's not letting me show you my video. I didn't have to log in to show any of these. I don't know why I have to for this. Need my geolocation. Fuck off with that. Let me try to make it full screen so you can see. So I wrote, when did they start planning the most recent Artemis mission? And it started in December 11th, 2017. And then I asked, did any significant setbacks in that mission start early last year? Because one of the scientists had gone missing in 2022. The rest were 2025 and 2026. And I said, yes, several critical setbacks occurred throughout 2025 that significantly altered the Artemis timeline. While major delays were first officially announced in early 2024, persistent technical and logistical challenges throughout 2025 forced further rescheduling. So while that's going on, scientists were going missing and being killed. There was an issue with the heat shield, the human landing system, hardware and maintenance, lunar landing stuff. So I asked, did any of the missing scientists work on this project? So it's saying, as of April, there's an active federal investigation into the deaths of at least 11 individuals linked to sensitive U.S. space and defense programs. While the definitive link to the current Artemis project isn't been officially confirmed, several of these scientists worked on NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and for major aerospace contractors directly involved with the program's technical infrastructure. Right here it's saying that the prominent aerospace engineer at JPL was Monica Reza. Frank Maywald was the principal researcher at JPL. JPL comes up it's mentioned a lot. William McCaslin, retired Air Force general and expert in materials and reusable spacecraft. He went missing in February 2026. Michael David Hicks at JPL, a jet propulsion scientist who worked on planetary defense missions like DART and Deep Space One, died in 2023 with no cause publicly released, which I thought was odd. And I asked, did any of the scientists have anything to do with the delays of the project? It says, while no official proof that these disappearances are directly caused by the project's delays, the timing and professional roles of some of these individuals have drawn significant attention from federal investigators. So, like Monica Reza was a senior engineer at JPL and an inventor of Mondaloy, a nickel superalloy used in the very rocket engines that have faced repeated technical issues. The General McCaslin, who vanished February 2026, was an expert in. This expertise is directly relevant to the Orion heat shield erosion and charring issue that forced NASA to overhaul its reentry plan. I asked how many of these scientists went missing before the most recent Artemis mission. All of them did. Although I think some's been happening later. Out of approximately 11 to 13 scientists currently under federal investigation, the timeline of their disappearance or death relative to the current Artemis project status is as follows. Because remember, they started kind of writing up the plans in 2017 to do the Artemis 2. And as it progressed, more people started disappearing. So the following key figures disappeared or died between 2022 and early 2025 prior to the most intense recent setbacks and the current 2026 investigation. So Amy Eskridge, Michael Hicks, and Frank Maywald died before, as they're planning for it, but as it got closer, like scientists lost during the 2025 setback period. This one's a contractor overseeing nuclear weapons assists, missing August 28, 2025. Most recent losses, early 2026. Following the major Artemis rescheduling announcement in 2026, 3 more scientists were added to the list. So every time there was a setback, more people died or went missing. Oh, you did? Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I want more people talking about this. I'm glad. But yeah, what? Oh, wait, what the fuck? I suffered a heart attack earlier this past week, so I'm out of circulation for a while. It's not like your heart was out of circulation too. I'm kidding. Sorry. Just let Raquel know and the others know if you can. I will. I am so sorry. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, or at least okay enough to write to us. Oh, I did a recent video. Oh, okay. So I thought you were talking about what I was just talking about. That's what I was saying. That was good. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. This is what happens when I don't read shit in order. But we send you hugs and paw prints. Oh, my back. Oh. So I think a lot of these people going missing, every time there was a major setback with the Artemis 2, people ended up dead or missing. And these are high profile, well-positioned people. Hard to replace. That's another reason why I think the Artemis 2 never took off the way we think it did. Or they did send up a rocket, but I don't think anybody was in it. And because I think there were too many setbacks, it wasn't working, and the government wanted to send something up to look like we were getting something done. So I think that's why the footage we saw for the Artemis 2 was a bunch of fake shit. It was a bunch of green screen shit. It was a mess because there were so many setbacks, it could not go up in time. And I think a lot of these people were going to come out and say that, or they were worried that they would come out and talk about it, or whistleblowers possibly. And I think that's why these people are dead. So, yeah, so that's that. I don't know if I have any other. Yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go back outside and get some yard work done before the storm gets here. So loves and hugs to everybody. And free pretty much everybody from Israel's bullshit. There's too many hashtags now. You know, free Palestine, free Syria, free Lebanon, free us. Yeah, Jesus. Too many. But hugs and loves to everybody. And I shall see you whenever I see y'all again. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, do I need a little song? I don't know. Do I even have like a little song ready? I don't think I do. Oh, what's this? YouTube Live. I'm going to go look. I'm going to go see what that is before I close the thing down. Hold on. Damn, it's not trying to load anything. Oh. Okay, let me go see what that is. Oh, Mikey's video. Okay, very good. Okay. Thank you. I have it paused at the moment, so I will look at it here in a little bit. But hugs and loves to everybody. Mwah. Yeah.